Billy from Mad Max, and today I'm out at the farm shooting, doing like an end of this year check-in on my match rifle and doing some low development on some other rifles. So I figured I would film a couple videos while I'm out here about all the different things. But the first one we're going to be talking about today is my match rifle, how it's changed from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, how it performed, and pretty much like an end of the year review for my second PRS season. But before we get into it, make sure you check out my Instagram at MadMaxGuns. That's where I'm most active. Getting back into the Patreon, I got one whopping patron on Patreon. Shout out to you, buddy. Appreciate it. But I am uploading stuff on there again because there's a reason to again. I'm gonna be probably doing a giveaway on there once I hit, I don't know, some sort of milestone. I'll figure it out once more people start checking that out. And I think this winter I will get around to making a blog website so I can do full personal write-ups on all this stuff. But yeah, check out the Instagram, check out the Patreon, and I would like to get into merch eventually soon. Creeping up on 10,000 subs, probably do something for that too. But let's get into it. So this is my match rifle that I used this year. Where to begin? I guess we'll start with the heart of it and make our way out. It is a rebranded Stiller Action. Blackheart International was a bunch of Delta and CAG guys that decided they wanted to get into manufacturing rifles. Don't know what happened to the company, but it is essentially a Stiller TAC 30. Well, it is a Stiller TAC 30 with a different sap on it. Big fan of it. I'm a huge Remington 700 fan. This is pretty much just the Remington 700 that has been like almost perfected, I guess. But I might be moving on from it next season. More to follow on that. But Bartlett barrel, chambered in 6 GT, built by Bill Maher from rifleshooter.com. Good friend of mine, mentor of mine, the one that got me into building my own guns. Check out that website if you haven't already, rifleshooter.com, pretty easy to remember. Sitting in an MDT ACC chassis. This is probably, up until recently, the most popular chassis that I've seen out at matches. A lot of people shoot KDEX, a lot of people shoot MPAs, but it's pretty consistent that a shit ton of people shoot the ACC with good reason. It's a competition chassis. I'll put what ACC stands for in here, right here. I can't remember exactly, but it's pretty sure it's Advanced Competition Chassis. It's set up with the weight set and the heat shield. I like the heat shield just because, one, it looks cool, two, it gets rid of a little mirage, three, if you're like up on a barricade and you want to do a thumb over bore thing, you can. Down here I got one of those plates. My buddy Paul, he's on Sniper Side, sells this stuff, but it's just like a bag rider plate, and it's made in rainbow for the Gay Tiger, because why wouldn't I? Same thing with this little card here Paul made. Check out his stuff on Sniper Side. Good guy, makes good stuff. But moving forward, we have the SkyPod Lite. Huge fan of this. You can use it in any situation. Different angles here. Got different angles here. I'm gonna stick with SkyPods, probably. I will probably be sticking with SkyPods for the remainder of my shooting career because you can do literally everything with them. But up front here, the MDT, shit, I don't know if it's the Elite muzzle brake, but it's the new creme de la creme muzzle brake that MDT does. It is adjustable. I think you can tune it. I haven't had a reason to. I also recently heard from the Wizard Brian Litz, or it's been going around, that he says that tuners don't affect anything. I don't know if that's true. That's way above my pay grade, but I haven't had to tweak anything on it yet. I would like to try an EC tuner brake one day, but as of now, this thing kicks ass. I swapped out the Area 419 match muzzle brake. There's been no negative side effects from switching out to the Area 419. In fact, this one might even mitigate recoil a little more, but since this rifle's so heavy and it's a 6mm, it doesn't have that much like oomph to it anyway. It's a very comfortable gun to shoot. Short action customs, or I'm sorry, short action precision, little 2-round holder. It's good to have for those 12-round stages when you don't have 12-round mags. Probably should get those, but I'll worry about that later. I added a competition bolt handle here. Just bigger purchase, easier to work. Now up top, got the one-piece MDT scope mount. It replaced the spur mount. In my eyes, this does everything the spur does, except it's not as wonky with having, you know, the scope rings be on angle. I'm sure Spur did that for a reason. I also heard recently that Spur sold out to CZ, so we'll see what happens with them. But as of now, this is my favorite scope mount that I've used, and I've used quite a few. It's got 6 lugs on each ring cap, and it's a one-piece mount, so if I want to switch this from rifle to rifle, I can. It's not QD, but doesn't need to be. It's the shit, pretty much, is what I'm getting towards. And up top, Gen 3 Razor. I will be doing a dedicated video to this sometime soon, but I wanted to wait until I had the whole season with it. That's all I'm gonna say about that for now. And the trigger is a Trigger Tech Premier Standard. I don't know. It's not a diamond. It's the one below diamond, and I like it fine. The diamond, for me, can get a little bit too light sometimes. So this is set to like 1 pound 2 ounces or something like that, and it's perfectly crisp and repeatable, and I like that. I also have a diamond. I'm a fan of it, but it's can be a little light sometimes, and I like being able to put a little pressure on it before it breaks. I know you can set the diamond up a little bit, but this, I'm a fan of this. And it's also a flat blade trigger, for what that's worth. But I think that covers everything on the rifle. Magazines are pretty standard. Just AICS. Today I'm shooting with a 5-round mag just because I had it in my truck. Armageddon gear, game changer. I try to run 1 bag at a match. I was always told if you can shoot well with 1 bag at a match, you're doing something right. So I don't use the big pump pillows, although I have seen them work in several situations, but I've also seen them get in the way. I've tried to use them a couple times to get in the way for me. But do what works for you. I like just using the game changer. This bag is awesome. Kestrel, the 5700, I believe, and it's not the Elite, but it does everything I need it to. This was a game changer for me this year. Last year I was doing printed range cards. This works great. Everyone says that this is like the one piece of gear that you probably need to shoot precision rifles. I'm not going to say you absolutely need it all, because you can use phone apps and everything, but this is a huge help. And I would say it's a little more of a necessity than a luxury, but you don't need it, although it is very nice to have. I would get one, but if you're buying one thing at a time, this isn't at the top of the list, but it's damn near there. Ammo, I'm shooting Alpha Brass, Varget, and 109 Burgers. I'm going to be switching to a 4350 and 108 Burgers shortly, just because I have a ton of 108s and I'm running out of 109s. I probably will work up a load with Varget on that as well, just because I have more Varget than 4350 now, but the 4350 108 load is what I have worked up. If you got any questions about hand loading and load development or whatever, send me a DM on Instagram, Patreon, drop a comment here. Although those type of questions get a little bit too far in the weeds to be discussing primarily on YouTube, so I will be making an email address soon too, but as of now, just DM me on Instagram. But that pretty much covers the gear that I use for shooting matches. Tripod I use is a 2-veg tripod. I'm using the No Name tripod. I will be upgrading to the QDT next year. Check them out. Great tripods, great customer service. Dan's awesome dude. I shoot with him every once in a while, and customer service second to none. And for how much you're paying for those tripods, it far exceeds every other tripod in that price range. And yeah, 2-veg tripods are the shit. But while we're out here, I got some paper at 100 that I already shot up. I got a piece of steel, a small piece of steel at 200, and then a 12-inch plate out at just under 600. I'm gonna move the camera, take some shots at them, and close up the video after that. Something's been going on with the extractor on this. I probably need to clean it. That's another reason I took this rifle out today. I got about 600 or 700 rounds on it since my last cleaning. I wanted to see if the accuracy dropped at all. So far, it's showing that I probably should clean it. I did a 10-round group. It's probably right around this, but this gun is typically under a 1/2-inch gun, but I will be cleaning after this. Just a quick interjection here. I know I just said that the barrel's filthy and the groups opened up need to be clean. That was with the 109, my match loads, which is kind of ironic, I guess, that I was talking about. These two on my left, your right, are the groups I was talking about. The top one's a 10-round group, bottom was a 5-round group. Both about 1 inch. The main cluster on the 10-round group is probably close to 3/4 of an inch, but the bottom one is straight up 1 inch. So I shot some of the 108s that I was talking about with the fresh brass, and rifle shooting just fine. Both 5-round groups. I wouldn't even know how to guess. They're small. I will put the actual measurements on screen for you once I get them. But yeah, small groups. Gun shoots fine. Probably close to 800 yards in between cleaning. Probably close to 800 rounds in between cleanings at this point. And fuck you. I guess I gotta shoot the rest of that match ammo and start making this stuff. But this is probably the last time I'm taking this gun out until the spring. Gonna do a full tear down on it and clean it all out, get everything put back together nice, and start from scratch in the spring. But that was just a quick interjection because I was sorely mistaken. And yep, back to the original video. All right, we'll go out to just about 600, probably around 585. I'll try holding over for that too, see what happens. There it is. Alright, so this ammo is shooting fine. Let's see. That was the 109s. This brass needs to be fire formed, so I'm just gonna launch a couple of these. See if it's the same dope. Holding 3 mils, left edge. Sure is. That was another center punch. Alright, when I say fire form, I'm not saying like it's a Wildcat cartridge. This is a brand new Alpha G6 GT brass. I like to get one firing on them before I start worrying about load development or testing loads with it. So I just put a tried and true 4350 and 108 Burger load on it, and it seems to be shooting just fine.
but I find that it's more consistent after one firing and resizing. Alright, so all those shots we're holding, I'm going to dial it in. This reticle and turrets track perfectly in my experience. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna do a hold under at 200 and then we'll close this out. Send another one. All right, so that pretty much does it. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for watching this video. If you got any questions about this rifle, any of the accessories on there, the barrel, the brake, action triggers, scope, whatever, chassis, any other questions about what I bring to a match, keep in mind that everyone's going to be different what they need to take to a match and what they actually use, what works for them. And a lot of this is just my opinion on stuff, so take that for what it's worth. But also, this is only my second year shooting PRS. There are people out there with a lot more experience, but as a somewhat beginner to the sport, I feel like I have a fairly valid opinion for other beginners getting into it and like my growing pains with everything. So if you got any questions, drop them in the comments, hit me in the DMs, check out my Patreon. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. Creeping up on 10,000 again. So if you got any friends that don't sub, tell them to sub, and I will do some sort of giveaway. And if you didn't like the video, as always, eat a dick. And I will see you guys next time. I'm gonna send a couple more out there. Oh, lost that one. All right, guys. See you later.